So a lot of y'all are new here. You may have came on in the off-season, draft season, and all that, and you haven't seen a proper in-season film session. This video will be kind of like an in-season film session. Normally, I just compile a bunch of clips from all over the place, but during the season, I like to focus on games and certain matchups or whatnot. So today, I want to look at Everson Griffen, but I want to look at him only versus Tyron Smith. Tyron is our guy. We know he's fantastic. He's great. He's one of the best tackles in the league. But since Everson Griffen is on our team right now, we have a little more context and just a little more of a reason to watch him. So I think watching him versus Tyron would be a, just a fun little watch. So everybody get y'all snacks and water and sit down somewhere. Let's get this thing going. There have been some people that says, Griffen is older. He's a little washed. Well, I don't think that's the case. I normally don't do player comparisons, but if I had to compare him to anybody, I would say he's very, very similar to Dwight Freeney. If you take a look at their outside swipe moves, if you look at how he runs through people with his power, if you look at that nasty, evil Super Saiyan spin move, right? Their games are very, very similar. So if someone wants to call, Griffen washed, but he's like Dwight Freeney, then he can be washed on my team next year and the year after that. That just is what it is. So Everson versus Tyron, I've gone through this already, but I'm just going to once again go through the entire game. And I'm going to show you plays from both guys. Some good plays from Tyron, some good plays from Everson Griffen. Let's start here, right? Everson Griffen, one thing I think that we gain here is we get a little better in the run game. At this point, I'm going to be showing you a video of Robert Quinn getting whooped in the run game, and not properly setting the edge because he's the end and that's his job. It could be harder for your linebackers because if you don't set the edge properly, then C gap keeps moving and B gap gets bigger. That's bad business. But if you take a look at Griffen versus Smith right here, what you see is Griffen really holding his ground right there, man. Just take a look at this for a minute. Like Tyron Smith and Griffen, they start off inside the hash. Tyron's going to engage with him, not bad, hands inside. He's going to try to get a little bit of movement, but Everson does not get inside. He doesn't get outside those hashes. He's going to plant that foot and keep that thing right where he is. And with him stopping Tyron Smith right here, B gap gets pretty tight, and that makes it a little weird for Zeke right there. So I definitely consider this thing a win for Everson Griffen because he could have got washed right here, but he didn't. Now, something fun about this play, both these guys kind of did some good things here. Mostly when Tyron blocks people, they kind of just stay blocked, but Everson Griffen, like super effort dude, high motor guy, Everson Griffen, right? Tyron is gonna get a good little kick, and there's that patented one hand punch, right? And Tyron is one punch man for the most part. He could just get hands on you and control you with one hand. What's good about this matchup is Everson learned how to fight this later on in the game, and I'm gonna show you clips of that later. But to be fair, it kind of worked here, right? Tyron did get settled in on Griffen, and Tyron, great knee bend right here, great body position, hands inside. This is top tier offensive line porn right here from Tyron Smith. But what Everson was able to do was get a little bit of momentum, pull some cloth, and get back inside. So Everson, if this was any other tackle, he would have beat this guy right here. But Tyron is Tyron, and he's going to use his feet to scoop back up under Everson right there, man, just to get him up out the way from Dak right there. And plus, it does help that Dak is able to escape the pocket. So I think we got good things from Tyron here, good thing from Everson. It's a pretty fun rep. Boy, look at Tyron Smith, boy. Look at your left side. This who y'all want to trade? This the one y'all want to trade? Look at what he doing on this island with Everson Griffen right here. My goodness. Now, Tyron, you don't need to be spinning around and all that. That's a problem, Tyron. But, right, take a look at his feet, right? Traveling well. Watch this. Boom, boom, boom. Hands. Bending his knees. Kind of got a little bit of a lean. That's why he spinned, right? He spinned because he lost a little bit of body control because he was leaning right here. So if you're a young offensive lineman, don't be leaning, because when you lean, you lose control of your feet a little bit. But Tyron's so great, he's going to spin around with Everson and get right back on the block, man. Come on now. Oh, boy. Everybody take a look at this play. I'm going to run it because y'all like to say I don't run plays. And everybody just take a sip of water while we run this play. Let's just take a sip while we just How about a little bit of nuance from Everson Griffen right there? How about this? So we just talked about Tyron Smith being one punch man, extending that left hand out, catching people, using his power and those bear claws that he calls hands, right? Everson Griffen, instead of hauling ass upfield like he normally does, we see a little bit of a delay from Griffen right here. See that delay? You see that delay? Now, why is he delayed, Voch? I want you to watch his eyes now. Don't watch him delay. Watch Everson Griffen's eyes. He's looking at Tyron Smith's hand right here. He's anticipating that left-handed bear claw right there. So when Tyron does put the hand out, Everson defeats it, right? Then spin back inside. He uses Tyron's power and momentum against him. And he spins back inside, bro, just to kind of find Dak. And to be fair, this pressure that he puts on Dak resulted in Dak not getting his feet set, and we have an incompletion. That's fantastic. And what you're gonna see, man, you're gonna see Tyron and Everson go back and forth with this little chess match. Every time Tyron introduces a move, Everson neutralizes it and comes back with a different setup for it. Tyron will see what Everson does, then he'll set it up different. The YouTube Illuminati is taking money away from your favorite content creators, and people often ask the best way to support the channel directly. I tell them that's subscribing to my Patreon. Just $1 a month would increase production and the frequency of uploads. Basically, that means more content for you. For less than a bag of almond M&Ms, you can support the channel, call dibs on requests for future videos, and you can have access to Patreon exclusive material like my throwback film sessions. That's patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. I appreciate the support. Doskiewoski Salute. Take a look at this play right here. Tyron and Everson on the right side of your screen. Now you see Tyron was a little more patient with his punch that time, right? Young offensive lineman, I understand that you want to really get hands on that D-line quickly, and I agree. You want to get hands on these guys before they get hands on you. But sometimes you just got to be a little patient, right? So Tyron is going to wait for Everson's swipe. And when you see him, like they both kind of figure this thing out at the same time, right? Tyron and Everson are kind of going to swipe and try to neutralize each other at the same time. It's really interesting. But what happens is whoever's going to win is who gets to their second move immediately. So Everson may be swipe, swim over the top. Tyron could be neutralized, swipe, punch with the right hand, and whoever gets that second move off gets the advantage. Now you see Tyron immediately bring that right hand over, right? Because if I'm going to miss with my left, I'm bringing that right hand over just to get the angle on you. Why? Because if Everson wants to get back inside, I have my right hand available to you just to kind of keep you outside. Or if you run into my hand, I could just be powerful and just latch onto you. So Tyron is in good position right here if Everson decides to get back inside. Tyron's a little tall right now, but that's because Everson is hauling ass in C-gap right now. It is what it is. But Tyron is fantastic, and he's able to get back under Everson, right? The problem is that we got a bunch of push in front of the pocket, so this benefited Everson right here. But where Everson gets the point or the nod here, and I wouldn't even say that he won this flat out because both guys did good things, but Everson had enough effort to keep this thing going. Now, if Dak would have had a little bit of room to step up or move a little bit to his right, then he'd have been fine. But Everson was able to get hands on Dak because the pocket had collapsed because the Vikings are just kind of, you know what I mean, they just get down up front. The Vikings are tenacious and everybody had fits, but this was a pretty good rep from both of them, from Everson and Tyron. Once again, on another rep, let's take a look at Tyron and Everson. We're going to run the play, then come back and take a look at it. Now, you see Tyron, like I said, he's a little more patient with that left hand, right? He'll normally just punch the hell out of people, but he's a little more patient with it. And now his punch is more so closer to I'm bringing both of my hands. Normally, it's left hand, then bring right hand. Now it's a lot quicker because he understands, hey, man, I just can't be fooling around with Everson like that. But boy, if I can give Everson Griffen some points here, watch him deliver this blow, man. Watch him bend his knees, get low, and explode at the hips and really get Tyron pushed back. But where Tyron is great, where Tyron is fantastic and top tier, he knows just when to bend so he can just absorb a lot of that shock. And when Tyron does get that shock, he's gonna pop his feet. He's in a bad spot right now. But what Tyron's gonna do is he's gonna pop his feet backwards to give himself a little more room to navigate. If it stayed here, Everson gets the advantage. But Tyron pops those feet backwards like so, and he's able to get his hips back up under him, and Tyron's able to put himself in a better, like a better spot to deal with Griffen here. So, I wrote this down as a Tyron win. This was a good show of power and explosion from Everson, but Tyron was just able to handle all that perfectly, man. So I gave the point to him. There goes Everson Griffen again, showing that power in the run game, right? You see what I mean? Like if Everson gets washed to the numbers right here, and when I say numbers, I mean the numbers of the yard line. So when you hear football, people say numbers, like that's what they're talking about, right? If Everson Griffen would have got washed all the way outside the numbers, then Zeke gets a big ass run lane, like right on the other side of Connor, right inside of Tyron, right? There's just this big bit of opportunity for Zeke. But it's not. That opportunity is not there because Everson Griffen is able to stop Zeke. Now, why can't Zeke bounce this thing outside? Because there's so much trouble in there. Because Everson Griffen is outside. That's fantastic, man. That is fantastic versus the runner. We just didn't get that with Robert Quinn, man. Like we just weren't able to hold that down, bro. So like this is just fantastic. I really can't wait to see this whole thing come together when we put Griffen and Poe, and I already know Tyron Crawford is a run stopper. D Law is a run stopper. I can't wait to see how much better our linebackers are, because our D line just leveled up so much at run stopping. So at this point in the game, man, Everson Griffen just became a terrorist. Like he was just having his way with Tyron, but I mean, that's just what happened, man. But they say Everson Griffen washed. Let's just take a look at it. Take a look at Everson Griffen using his left hand as a long arm just to spin back inside, man. If Dak wasn't so fantastic getting outside, this could have got ugly. We ain't here to see Coop whoop up on them DBs or whatever, but Griffen, first of all, Griffen stopped shooting upfield with Tyron very early in the game. Why? Because Tyron can easily react to that, so he had to, kind of mix up the timing a little bit. So you're gonna see Everson kind of skip and delay a little bit again. He just did this the whole second half, a little bit of a skip and a delay, just to kind of throw that timing off. Now let's take a look at the hand fighting here because I think it's fantastic. Tyron's going to slip with the left hand. He probably made a mistake there. Shouldn't have done it there. But Everson is going to extend his left hand out. That's going to create a little bit of room for him to navigate, and also defeat Tyron's outside hand in case Everson did want to go outside. Just covering as many bases as you possibly can, man. So what makes Tyron good is even if Tyron's left hand gets defeated, he's covering his bases automatic. So if Everson tried to swing back inside, Tyron's going to use his right hand to, boom, you see him right there, to use that right hand to just in case it gets bad, I got my right hand on Everson Griffen. What Tyron Smith didn't anticipate is Everson Griffen activating this trap card and also defeating Tyron's inside hand. Like so. See that? You see that? By Everson swinging his right hand across to just kind of elbow Tyron in the back a little bit, very Dwight Freeney like I showed you earlier. Him using all that to just kind of free him up, and at this point, Tyron dead as fried chicken. And he just get to chase Dak, and luckily Dak was able to get up out of there, man. But that is fantastic pass rush pouring there from Everson Griffen. Let's just keep watching. I said Everson Griffen is a terrorist. Terrorists don't commit terror just one time. He did it again, but this time he ran down the middle of Tyron, right? What I think is interesting here is look at Everson's angle coming off the ball here. Like he knew he was going to run down the middle of Tyron because Everson is a player that thinks about his plan prior to the snap. So he knew he was going to run down the middle of Tyron. But if y'all going to run down the middle of Tyron, y'all would cut that angle quicker, right? Because you would want to get on Tyron quickly. Not Everson Griffen. Griffen is running upfield as if he's attacking Tyron's outside hand, because that's what Griffen's been doing the whole game. That's what he's been doing his whole entire career. If you watch film on Griffen, he attacks the outside. Even if he's spinning inside, he starts off attacking the outside. So if you're Tyron Smith looking at Everson Griffen just get real vertical, he hadn't even cut the angle yet. He's just getting vertical upfield. It looked like he's going outside. But last minute, Everson's going to plant that foot and run down the middle of Tyron. Boom, right there. Right there. And with that uncertainty, plus that explosion, plus that condensed ass, stocky ass power, you kind of get the run down the middle of Tyron. Boom, right there. Just boy. And look, Tyron did his best, man. Tyron did his best to not get smoked. But man, that got bad. Also, we talked about long arming, right? I was talking about with Alden Smith, he's really good because of his, arm length. If my arms are as long as yours, you can't get your hands on me. Same with like Randy Gregory. Hey, this is kind of what Griffen used right here. Griffen used that long arm to get down the middle of Tyron. And if my arm is long in the middle of you, your hands kind of end up outside of me. See Tyron right there? So if Tyron is outside and Everson's hands are inside, It's just so much nuance. I could break down this one play for like 10 more minutes. Look at Everson's lean right here, right? Look at him leaning into Tyron before he get his hips back under him to continue to push. Just so many physics, man. So much football stuff going on. I'm kind of nerding out a little bit, my bad. But let's move on to the next play, man. Let's get some more fire emojis in that damn chat box, man. That was top tier stuff. Oh boy, terrorist. terrorist. Listen, man. Look, once Everson got in his bag, like once he figured out Tyron Smith, dog. And let me just pause this. Look, if he can do this to Tyron, good luck to like Andre Dillard when we play the damn Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Like, good luck to whoever the hell we end up playing. Like, come on, my guy. Come on, my guy. He just switched up that time, and look at him skipping again. That timing delay, but he's still consistent. Defeat the outside hand, spin, elbow in Tyron's back to free himself up. Everson could have had like 3 sacks this game, but he ended up with like a sack and a half with a gang of pressures. Crazy. But Tyron ain't no mark though, man. Tyron gonna get some of his back. Everson, let's take a look at the play. Let's look at the play, then we're gonna come back and rewind it because I know y'all gonna hate me if I don't show the play right here. Fantastic play right here from Tyron Smith. Everson's gonna get upfield, right, just to kind of fake outside and give an inside move. Fantastic move, but let's just see what Tyron was able to do. Hey, take note, young offensive lineman, man. This is O-line porn. This is why you do not cross your feet, because if Tyron crosses his feet, he's not powerful because his feet are close together. He's gonna keep his feet he's gonna keep them separate, not cross them, but he's gonna pound his post foot. What I mean by that, you travel with your left one because he's on the left side, so his post foot is his right foot. He's going to travel with the left one and pound and be powerful with the right one, right? So we're going to travel. But when it's time for Everson to cross face, he's not going to cross his feet. He's just going to pound that right foot back into the ground. Boom. Back inside, right? Then he's going to keep those hips going to get up under him. He's going to keep those feet moving, never going to stop him, and he's never going to cross him. That is O-line porn right there, ladies and gentlemen. Put your kids to bed. If you watching film at 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody need to check up on you. Good job, Tyron Smith. Plus, if I can give Griffen props, even though Tyron got these hands clamped down on him, he's still fighting. Trying to get free. But like I said, Tyron's hands are clamped down on you. So good luck to you. Take a look at this play. Everson Griffen's going to use that delayed timing move right here, and he's going to try to attack Tyron's outside hand, but Tyron got a feel for that timing a little bit, and he didn't bite on that fake, so that is fantastic. Okay, so look, everybody, let's just look at Everson right now. Everson's going to delay, then he's going to burst, right? Tyron had been playing against Everson all day. Let's watch Tyron move, right? Let's look at Tyron. Tyron's going to kick, then I'm gonna go with you. You see what I mean? So he definitely got eyes on him right here. So hey, if you're gonna delay, I'm gonna delay with you. When you burst, I'm bursting with you. Get hands on you, you're locked up, playboy. Go to jail. Take a look at this play, man, and I wanted to show you from the outside view, from the wide angle, because it just kind of got bad for Tyron right here, man. Just take a look at Tyron at the left tackle, man. Let's just look at Tyron right there, dog. Oh boy, I ain't never seen Tyron do that before. Man. I hated to look at it, man. After this, I cut the film off because after this was when we stopped throwing the ball and we started to run it, and we lost the game because of that. So that's another reason why I just cut the game all the way off. But boy, I ain't never seen Tyron look like this before, man. I ain't never seen Tyron just get put on the ground like that. But the only person I've ever seen do it is like Frank Clark did it, right? And we don't play the Chiefs this year, and I'm adding Everson Griffen to that list. And Griffen on our team, so good luck. I hope this don't happen in practice too much. But listen, man, I ain't want to hold y'all too long. That's a lie. I held y'all for a while, but this is what an in-season film session is going to look like. We're going to break down a lot more plays. We're going to stop and analyze a lot more. It's going to be a lot less just me talking, but more so of me breaking down X's and O's, a lot more of me talking about technique and all kind of other little stuff. So, hey, man, with the season upon us, this is what film sessions will look like. I got a couple more pieces that I want to reveal that that I'm gonna be putting out during the season. So just kind of like stay tuned for that, just to kind of get what the vibes are. And like the video, follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, especially because it's that time of year where I start dropping a gang of videos, and I want y'all to get all of them. All right, y'all hold it down for the Doskiewoski and the Peasky Whiskey, man. Till next time, salute.